Luka's debut tonight. How you feel about that?
Yeah, bro. I mean, shit. I was telling you, I'm kind of nervous. Obviously, the thing with AD, him going down, I think it was a bit rushed. Seems like to me they just wanted him to come back kind of and play immediately, and I don't know if that was smart, especially before the All Star break. You had brought something up the other day, and you were kind of alluding to his injury and like what's going on. I was like, I don't know, but I mean, he's Luka, so he'll eventually, whenever he gets out on the court, he'll be Luka. But so if you guys don't know, we talked about it on the last pod, but they made a pretty big trade, or not, I guess not that big of a trade compared to what's been going on. But yeah, Kuzma's on the Bucks now. How do you think that'll impact their team? Do you think that his habits that were built on the Wizards, do you think they'll carry over to the Bucks? And do you think that was, how I like to say it, considered a championship
So
move?
I was going through the outline because shout out to ZD. He makes one before we start, and I got to like the All Star game, and he was saying like his three greatest All Star games that he thinks, and I was like thinking about it, man. There's not really, especially this decade, like the 2020s, like that I think are like very rememberable in my eyes, at least. What's going on, everybody? It's your boys over here at Three Man Weave. I'm your co-host CJ here with my lovely co-host ZD. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm, hey, you know my saying, bro. I'm above ground.
Yes,
It's
sir.
another day, another dollar. Luca, I think debuts today, bro. We got a lot of signed off. Going through some of these lovely, All Star game moments. I think that'll be really cool for our audience to hear. And yeah, just recapping the Lakers and the Thunder. Obviously, the matchups that they have with the Pellies and the Jazz, kind of cupcake, but our teams have been playing really well. So I'm excited to talk to you about it. How are you feeling, bro?
Good, man. Like we were chopping it up prior to us hopping on, man. It's we're I don't really have much to talk about with the Thunder. You know what I mean? Like we've been saying it all seasons, kind of nitpicking certain things, but yeah, obviously we're going against the Pels, and they just made a huge move and trading Bi away. So that's kind of always been our thing with them. It's kind of what is y'all's direction, and we got the answer to that question a couple of days
Yeah,
ago,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's obviously Zion is playing, so it's always going to be exciting seeing him on the court. But I think we should probably be able to handle that pretty easily. We've been doing really well these past couple games, and Zion is going to be a tough matchup for us, I would say, just because he likes to attack the
Oh yeah.
rim, and hopefully Trey Murphy has an incredible game. I always like to see these players that don't get as much recognition as they usually would just because they're not on a winning team. But he's been going crazy as well, so should be an interesting game. That's kind of my preview of the game. I guess I don't even know what. I know it's probably
You
a
see
cra-
it. They said the Raptors were trying to get Trey, but supposedly Trey Murphy's untouchable to the
mm,
Pelicans. Not
hey,
untouchable. I mean, if Luke. I mean, they call about Luca
right,
shit,
right, right. To the Pelicans, they are though.
right? But yeah,
Right.
to the Pelicans, bro. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
makes
that
sense.
got that going on, and then I mean, like you were saying, bro, Luca's debut tonight. How you feel about that?
Yeah, bro. I mean, shit. I was telling you, I'm kind of nervous. Obviously, the thing with AD, him going down, I think it was a bit rushed. Seems like to me they just wanted him to come back kind of and play immediately, and I don't know if that was smart, especially before the All Star break. You had brought something up the other day, and you were kind of alluding to his injury and like what's going on. I was like, I don't know, but I mean, he's Luka, so he'll eventually, whenever he gets out on the court, he'll be Luka. But yeah, I'm excited, bro. I think I'm anxious. That's the mix of like being worried and also being excited. But I think, like I told you, I think he used to run 12 minutes first and third quarter on the Mavs. I don't think that will happen tonight. I think the starting lineup will be Doncic, Reeves, Vando, Braun, and Jackson Hayes. If anybody switches, it'll probably be Finney Smith, in there with instead of Vando. But other than that, that's the five we got out there. I hope our bench players are ready to play. I brought up Connect with the trade being rescinded and kind of with the Mark Williams physical being failed, and obviously we found something in his test results that was worrisome, and Palinka decided to make that decision and rescind the trade. And like I was telling you, I hope that doesn't shake up our locker room too much. At the end of the day, these guys are grown men, millionaires as well. So I can only hope that he goes out there whenever he's subbed in and plays with some type of purpose, even though most likely kind of going to the recap. I think we've been, like I said, on the other pod, a top five team over the last 10 games. I mean, we're going in with actually, I think we have, we're on a winning streak right now. I think we're like either second or third behind the Thunder and the Blazers, I want to say. I think the Blazers lost yesterday.
Mm.
So, if I'm not mistaken. But, anyways, yeah, no, we're hot right now. So, hopefully Luka. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I've never seen the Lakers play with him, so I don't have a ton of analysis to give you guys on how that's going to look. But I'm assuming a lot of kind of ISO plays. If the Jazz want to double him, he'll kind of draw that gravity and be able to kick it out to the shooters that we have around us now. Like I was telling CJ, I think we have improved using like the free agency market, but also in the trade market, going and getting Finney Smith, Shake Milton, even like I've been hating on Gabe Vincent, but he's been coming in and doing a lot better recently. So
Mhm.
even somebody like that who can just hit threes, even if it's not super consistent, kind of like a Malik Beasley type player, that's still valuable, and it's a threat to the defense, and that's going to help out Luka a ton. Whenever he gets doubled, I think Will Hardy's going to key in on him because he knows he's obviously debuting for the Lakers. And if you guys don't know, we traded Jalen Hood-Schifino to the Jazz, so I'm sure they have a good scouting report on kind of what we're planning to do and how we like to run our offense because literally they had a dude like now they got a dude that used to be on the team that they're going against on their team, and like it was probably not even 2 weeks ago that Hood Shafino was in a Lakers practice, so he's definitely them kind of some things to look out for. But yeah, bro, I think the Jazz are definitely more scrappy than people think. I know we've talked about the Lakers and the Thunder at length this season. Like I said, just the inconsistencies on defense and the 3-point shooting are the biggest harps that I have. If we can clean those up tonight, I think it'll be an easy win. I think we're favored by 13 points. But, bro, like, yeah, I think the Jazz, in my opinion, like, I think I would look to take them plus the points just because I feel like they're just gonna be feisty they're gonna double Luca. I feel like they're gonna try to ruin his debut. And Will Hardy's that type of coach. He's not somebody who's just gonna. I was telling CJ before we hopped on. I think the Jazz are kind of a underrated team. They kind of know the direction they're going in. They're in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Um, but they just play hard every night. If you guys watch Jazz games, Sexton, you were talking about Isaiah Collier, Collins, marketing when he's on. I think it's dangerous for the Lakers. They match up pretty well. Obviously, Luca being in now, kind of a six. He always has torched the Jazz. So mind you, if you guys look up his stats, like he's cooked the Jazz, and I think that kind of it plays into to kind of why we got him in the building, right? A 6'10" point guard, somebody who can create immediate offense and then also be a hub for the team. It's kind of it's invaluable. I don't really know why the Mavericks decided to trade that, but that's neither here or there because we got him now.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. I'm expecting a ton of excitement from our squad. I hope we get out and run. Luca usually changes. He tries to slow down the pace. So hopefully, JJ can tell him like, "Yo, bro, we gotta run," because LeBron likes to run. Honestly, though, it's crazy. Like Luca was saying, how LeBron was kind of his favorite player growing up. Whatever. I'm sure he knows LeBron likes to run. So I'm sure he might be play a little differently than how he did on the Mavericks, because he just has another dude who is gonna tell him like, "Yo, bro, like." Get up and
Yeah.
down the court. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I need you to throw me a lob. I need you to throw Jackson Hayes a lob. So, I am expecting it to be a bit different than Mavericks Luca, but I think Laker Luca, it's exciting. Disney Plus, ESPN. I got it on lock tonight, so I'm gonna be watching. It's at 9:30. It'll be after the pod, but I'll be able to like fully watch it and see and kind of give you guys a better analysis on how the team looks with Luca. Because honestly, I've been talking about the Lakers without him this entire time. I think this is one of these rare times, I think, whenever we do this podcast, coming up in the next few years, that truly this is a time where I don't know what the team's going to look like because
Yeah.
they're adding a player. Yeah, they're adding a player that's so different that it could change the way that we've been playing. And that's something, I was not expecting to tell you guys that this season, but like CJ a little bit earlier, a couple minutes ago, it's just hard to really analyze a team when we're adding a piece like Luka Dončić. It's
Mm.
kind of like adding Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to another team. It's like that team's going to play entirely different now.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I'm excited to see. I think I was telling you, I think Gabe Vincent, Shake Milton, Dorian Finney-Smith, like if those guys can play well, like you were saying on the other pod, I think we could go to the Western Conference Finals easy. Now, getting over the hump, I think we need a big. I think that was why we brought up the rescinded trade with Connect and Mark Williams. And obviously, that's going to hurt our locker room a little bit as well. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, shit, bro. Like they've been playing so good. I mean, JJ had this interview, talking about the Pacers game. It was pregame, and he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna need 40 from Austin Reeves, all this stuff, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
We ended up getting that,
Yep.
and it's kind of. I think AR has really proved himself as, like I said before on another pod, but I think he's been our best player this year, and this is one of those games where if they double Luka, I feel like Austin Reeves is gonna have a big night tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I'm super excited. Like I was telling you, bro. It's just, Luka's a Laker now, and like we're actually gonna see him playing on the Lakers, and that's gonna be so. It's crazy for you. You know what I mean? For one, but crazy for everyone that's kind of been locked into the trade ever since it happened. I'm pretty sure all eyes are going to be on them as usual. Y'all are the Lakers, so y'all's everyone has
I
eyes
gotta
on
say
y'all.
that's
But
normal for us.
right, but no, yeah, dude, I'm super excited. I feel like a little kid. Like I'm like, bro, I can't wait till 9:30. I can't wait to watch this game. Like it's getting me like
Yeah.
eager to watch like a game that my team isn't playing. But it's crazy.
Yeah, if
It's
it's
so
close, obviously I'm gonna stay up, bro. Like I got work, I gotta wake up at 5 a.m.
yeah.
Hey, for Luca being on our team, like I just once in a life, in my opinion, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity to go and watch that and analyze that and see how that changes your team. So I'm gonna be locked in tonight for sure. Because,
Mhm.
like I said, it's hard to give you guys my true thoughts whenever I just haven't seen that before. So I'm gonna see
Right.
that tonight, and then I'll be back.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll definitely talk about it, bro. I'm excited to see how tonight goes, and then obviously your analysis of it, on the pod on Wednesdays. But yeah, bro, it's super exciting times, man.
Yeah, man. I think kind of with obviously like I was saying, like the Lakers have been playing super well. We've kind of gotten a little bit lucky recently with our schedule. I feel like the Pacers was a quality win for sure, but the Jazz are kind of cupcake. But yeah, bro, the Pelicans. I don't know, bro. We'll see. I feel like they're probably looking to lose now. I want to say they have their own pick this year.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah,
think they're probably gonna tank out on this one. Probably Shea's going for 30. You can take
yeah,
Shea over points and then take the money line.
mm,
Free
yeah.
little bet.
I was gonna say that we're minus 1,600 favorite right now.
Oh, so never mind. Take an alt spread. Take an alt spread. Don't take a 1600.
Yeah, I was like, damn. But
Yeah, they're
yeah,
they're on an 8 game losing streak though, guys. The Pelicans are. So in contrast, they've been struggling, but I think, like CJ alluded to earlier, trading Brandon Ingram clearly kind of shows the direction that team's going in. Obviously with Dejounte Murray being hurt, it's tough. You have to rely so much on Trey Murphy and Zion, and I think the Thunder have perfect matchups for both those types of players. I think Zion's really going to struggle against Chet and Hartenstein in the paint, and then I think Trey Murphy's going to have to deal with Caruso and Jalen Williams and Shea and the switching everything defense that the Thunder can play. It's just it's crazy. So I think they'll struggle tonight probably from the field. So yeah, bro, I'm excited because I think we have a ton of games to watch tonight. But I'm gonna be locked in on my team for sure.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's always a crazy slate on Mondays, man. Mondays is always a good day, and was it
But
Wednesdays?
recently they've been BSing on Friday.
Yes. Yeah, bro. Like the prime time games and shit. I'm like,
Yeah, they're like not good. Like I'm like, bro, where? I think Rivals Week 2 weeks ago before the trade.
mm,
Like a week before the trade, it was Rivals Week, and then that was lit. Like the Friday slate was lit, but the last 2 weeks have been bad. And obviously
yeah.
yesterday, Hubie signed off. That was a dope game, but um, it was just 3 games because of the Super Bowl. Jalen
Mm,
Hurts.
yeah. Hey, man. Shout out to the Eagles,
Hey,
bro.
hey, fly Eagles fly, baby.
Yeah,
I
bro.
was not, but I was happy for Hurts for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad they got their. I don't know if you saw it, but I guess he got interviewed and was like, "Oh, are you?" It was like a little kid, and he was like, "Oh, are y'all gonna get your lick back?" He said, "Hey, that'd be nice." and then Jordy made an edit of
Man.
it and like him in the trophy and shit. Yeah, no. Shout out to
Yeah,
the Eagles, bro.
yeah,
They balled out last night. Did not expect it to be like that. At least, you know.
not at all. I think they kind of showed up the Chiefs, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I think I'm excited. I think, like I said, I was kind of hating on the NBA slate though. But we got the All Star break coming up, so there's gonna be some great events. People are gonna have fun. I think break and obviously, like you're saying, I think whenever we go around the league here in a sec, just getting a better understanding of kind of where these teams are at the halfway point, because I think there's gonna be some changes for sure going down the stretch of the season, depending on injuries and kind of how teams are playing on the back end of the season, obviously compared to right now. But I'm excited to kind of go into these next few teams and chat about them with you because obviously these guys are probably the way I think about it. It's like the week before vacation, you at school. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you don't want to do nothing.
Right.
I feel like it's kind of we're in a period of the NBA where it's like just right after the trade deadline, guys are tired. They just want to get to vacation. So,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
100%. But you want to go into chatting about the Bucks?
Yeah, bro. Let's talk
For
about them.
sure. All right, for sure. But yeah, so if you guys don't know, we talked about it on the last pod, but they made a pretty big trade. Or not, I guess not that big of a trade compared to what's been going on, but yeah, Kuzma's on the Bucks now. How do you think that'll impact their team? Do you think that his habits that were built on the Wizards, do you think they'll carry over to the Bucks? And do you think that was, how I like to say it, considered a championship move?
Um. So kind of just initial thoughts. Like I didn't think it was like a game changing decision, I guess, that they made. But I think them adding a younger player for Chris Middleton, obviously that was who involved in the trade. I think it was a kind of like a clearer move to as where they're trying to like go towards. They're trying to get a little bit younger, trying to run a little bit. I mean, they're obviously they have Giannis, who's great on fast breaks and getting down the court, but everyone else for the most part is pretty slow. Like their offense, when it kind of slows them down, they turn more into a half court set. And
Oh yeah.
having a player like Kuzma come in, who's like I said, a little bit younger. I wouldn't say he's as having as good of a season shooting wise as Chris Middleton. I feel like they might be on the same level, but I think it's more so looking for like I wouldn't even say future because it's not like something that probably will affect him at this very moment, but for the next couple years, I think when you have a player like Kuzma, like you were saying, he's been playing with the Wizards, so it's kind of hard to say that he contributes to winning basketball. But we were talking about it yesterday when you pulled up on us at the Super Bowl party. When he is on a team like the Lakers, whenever that was 4 or 5 years ago, but he did contribute to that team, and I think that's kind of what they're hoping to get out of him. But I don't think it's like a move like this season that's gonna take him above the mountaintop. I think Kuzma is a good player, but just I don't know if he's their missing piece. I think it's more so gonna be on the shoulders of Dame and Giannis. Obviously I think Giannis is injured, so Dame has been having to carry them these past couple games, but come playoff time, I think I talked to you about it at the beginning of the season as well. Like that's kind of the reason why I wasn't counting them out yet, per se, but because they just have those two type of players that can take over a playoff series, But I don't think this is like gonna be their move that wins them a championship. I think it's just more so getting off that Chris Middleton contract and kind of going into a new era with the Bucks. Obviously they still have Giannis, but it's kind of, I wouldn't be surprised if Brook Lopez maybe gets traded or like this
Yeah.
upcoming offseason
Yeah.
or something, kind of like retooling them because it seems like, obviously Giannis and Dame are kind of the cornerstones of this franchise right now and seeing what can be built out of those two, but for the most part, solid trade. Like I said, there's been crazy trades this whole trade deadline, so I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's definitely not a bad trade. Just don't think it's gonna be enough for them to get to. I would say even probably the Eastern Conference Finals, honestly.
Yeah, so they're trying to make a playoff push right now. I think they're 28 and 23, fifth in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, they were kind of underwater right at the beginning of the year. I think they've turned that around. Obviously, their fans were, they're hoping for a championship. I think this window with Giannis is very slim. I think they have 2 to 3 years to maximize his abilities at peak levels, and they're trying to do so right now. I think with this move, like CJ was alluding to earlier, it makes them younger. Kuzma's obviously proven he can win. He does have a ring, so it's not like because the Wizards had like Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, like these guys have rings, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Without rings
I
is.
think yeah. No, they have rings. It's just they don't have any organization. It's so
Mhm.
weird. But yeah, bro, I think kind of to answer my own question, I agree with CJ. I think this move has implications for their future, but I don't know if it's going to help them right now. Um, I think the East is very top heavy. They're gonna have to go through the Cavaliers and the Celtics and or the Knicks, and
Mhm.
right. And I don't know if they can beat them in a 7 game series currently with their roster and their bench. They're very. I think this entire year they've been super reliant on 3 point shooting and making sure Dame and Giannis kind of get the majority of their buckets. But sometimes whenever I watch the Bucks, especially when Giannis isn't in, but he should be in most of the time, so this doesn't really matter. But their role players kind of just struggle to generate offense for themselves, and I think that's really going to hurt them in the playoffs. I hate to say it. I think Gary Trent's a great role player, but I don't think he's going to be able to give you 20 points in a playoff game. Like he just doesn't have that type of you know, I don't know, like
Yeah.
that swagger, I guess, like he used to in Toronto. And I think some of the pieces that they have, like a AJ Green, Brook Lopez, it's kind of like you're hoping on a wishful star at some
Yeah.
points. But yeah, I think they're trying to boost their roster to make a playoff push. I think Giannis was in some trade talks with a couple of teams as well. Like the Warriors, I think called, somebody else called, but obviously he's untouchable. I think the Bucks clearly are moving in the direction that they feel like is right for him. I think they just want to see him back in the NBA Finals, and they're trying every which way to do so. I think having Doc Rivers at the helm is going to be tough, but they've played pretty good basketball, especially over the last you know 2.5 months, 3 months, right? Like since they kind of started out poorly, I think
Mhm.
they've kind of regained their footing and actually made a playoff possible, especially now trading for somebody who's younger but also kind of doing the same thing as Chris Middleton. Like,
Right.
you know, Chris Middleton wasn't able to stay on the floor. I think Kuzma has some defensive issues, but like CJ was saying, they're kind of similar players. I think Kuzma's a little, actually, I think a tad bit taller, so they do have some length on the outside. Pause, but yeah, bro, I think if you're a Bucks fan, I think you should be cautious. I don't know if this is like a championship team, but I will say you guys are moving in the right direction. It seems like to me.
Mhm.
Um, clearly with the East being like I said, super top heavy, it's tough because you kind of have to build around your core pieces and kind of hope that your role players fill in the gaps. I think that's why the Celtics are so lucky, and the Cavs. We didn't talk about this either, but the Cavs made a trade for DeAndre
Mhm.
Hunter, and like like you've been talking about him all year. He's awesome. He's another 6'8" wing, 3-and-D wing, but that's another role player who can do something. Like
Mhm.
that's not a scrub. Like he can really score. DeAndre Hunter can score 18 points a game against the Celtics in a playoff series. So like,
Mhm.
that's going to help you out a ton. And I just think the Bucks are kind of missing those types of players. I think Kuzma's like that. 15 points here and there. Supplement Damian Lillard and Giannis are kind of is that's it for them right now. I
Mhm.
think Brook Lopez provides some value, but yeah, bro, I don't know. I think if you're a Bucks fan, just be cautious and kind of see where they're gonna go because I don't know if it's you guys' year this year, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Yeah,
Same thought process, bro. It's like you said, they are trying to get younger, and they realize that they don't have that many years left of really their championship window with Giannis, and I just don't think it's enough. Like you said,
they
the
got they
first.
got Kevin Porter Jr. too. I think
Oh, they did. Oh shit, he's been hooping.
he's young too. I
Yeah, I
mean,
would
he's
say
had some issues, but he's
yeah.
been when
He
he's
was.
been able to be on the court, he's cool.
I would say whenever I watch Clippers games, I always see him make a tough basket, make a tough shot,
Yeah,
so
he was the reason he got traded is because yeah, like they clearly wanted him. They've seen kind of what he can do, and I think KPJ got he's obviously had off the court issues, but he just got unlucky, man. I think if he was still on the Cavs, that probably would be the best situation for him. It's
hmm
crazy how the Cavaliers are so good now, but yeah, I think him being going through the Rockets, right, and then kind of having to deal with going to China and then coming back to the Clippers, he's kind of found some value for himself. So hopefully he can provide another punch off the bench. But I just think Doc Rivers just doesn't have a proven track record outside of that 2008 finals. And yeah, bro, unfortunately when your coach is has that kind of mojo, it's tough. It's tough to move forward. But I
hmm
think, the Heat, I would like to, talk about them because obviously their coach is a little bit more decorated, regardless of the LeBron situation. I think Spoelstra's proven, he is that guy.
yeah,
But
I
they're
agree.
currently 500, bro, 25 and 25. I think they're like, what are they? Seventh, I think, in the Eastern Conference. So they're kind of treading water. I think trading Jimmy Butler was awesome for them. Anytime we watch the Heat this year, I think the Terry Rozier gambling allegations have hurt them. I think Jimmy Butler. I think the Terry Rozier trade in general has just hurt them. I think
hmm
Charlotte kind of fleeced them on that, but
Yep.
um, the Jimmy Butler stuff for sure. The locker room cloud that was hanging over their heads is now gone. I think Khalil Ware has been awesome over the last couple weeks. He's been playing well. I think he should be the rookie of the month, honestly. Um, he's been playing super well. Played really well in January. Hopefully he can keep doing that in February. Kind of prove me right. But yeah, man, I think the direction they're going in is clearly all in on Tyler Hero and kind of Bam and what they can bring. I think Wiggins helps them a little bit. I do think they get a little bit worse with Jimmy Butler, but I think it's in the future. I think they're going to be better. I think this was a move more so kind of preparing for the years to come, not necessarily for this season. I don't see them contending for an NBA Finals. However, I have been seeing better basketball from them recently. Just because when you take Jimmy away from the equation, you get an organized, happy, joyful team instead of somebody who's just trying to get out of the door. So that's kind of what I've noticed from the Heat. Obviously, like I brought up Terry Rozier, that's kind of been a mess for them. Um, Hero keeps contributing at an all-star level. Clearly got voted in. I think that kind of signified to the franchise that like I think with Spoelstra, Tyler Hero, and some of their pieces, they're like I said, they're putting in all their chips into the table. And yeah, man, I think Khalil Ware has a chance to be the rookie of the year. I think it'll go to Castle, but he's gonna be right there, bro. And he's been
hmm
playing super well. Another great Heat draft pick. If they can continue to build in the draft, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. It's I think we talked about it a little bit. That whenever Andrew Wiggins got traded there and stuff, I think it's like you said they realize what they have in front of them. They have a all star in Tyler Hero. Obviously, they have a player at Bam's level, which we know what he can do. He's just been having a pretty streaky year this year, but at these last 5 games, he's been balling out.
Super
So,
streaky.
but I think
Hey,
it's
he's been quiet about the defensive player of the year stuff, huh?
yeah,
Because he ain't
very.
been. Yeah, he
Yeah, I was about to
he.
say that's that because he's usually someone that we always say should be in it, and this season's kind of, not really, on offense and
Hey,
defense.
I
I guess
I
he
have a
hasn't really been.
question for you though.
What's up?
Actually, I wrote it down, but I didn't put it in the outline. But so, do you think that they believe that Tyler Hero is their franchise player more than Bam Adebayo? Like you would say that's true today?
I would say that's true. I don't know if they think that, but I would assume they do. Especially the season that he's been having. They kind of he switched over to the main primary ball handler. He's their PG now, so I think
It's
them.
interesting how that works because I think last year or 2 years ago it's probably Bam.
No, 100% it was Bam, which is it's crazy how fast things change, right? Because it was Bam.
I think Hero just figured it out. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
know this too. For people who don't know, I think Tyler Hero's always been cold. It was just more so like, can he like have the ball in his hands? Can he be consistent? I think the efficiency kind of speaks for itself. He's always been like that, even in college and in high school, honestly.
hmm
Yeah, Bam's had a, I think. we haven't talked about these guys yet, but Jaquez, Jovic,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Love, all these ancillary pieces that they have, they've been awesome, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what's kept the Heat afloat in this Jimmy Butler list time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, bringing in Wiggins is going to help with. Obviously, you get some youth, but also some athleticism. I think Andrew Wiggins is another champion as well. He's an NBA champion. Kind of, his career hasn't played out amazingly, but he's gone through a lot of shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool, to see him climb the mountain and then get a chance to go on another team that's giving him a clean slate. And like I said, I think Spoelstra's the guy to kind of be at the helm.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a coach that they believe in. Probably won't lose his job at all. Way more secure than Doc Rivers. At least he ain't saying, "Oh well, I came in halfway through the season."
Right. Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I
It's
mean? Like he wouldn't say that. It's very no excuses, no bullshit. So I like the Heat. I like what they have going on there. I think, I always say this, but if you're a Heat fan, you should be happy. I think getting off Jimmy Butler's again, the Warriors got fleeced. I think the 120 million is way too much, but they're in a rush and they
mm-hmm.
need that. And I think the Heat were smart to be like, we're not paying that.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is worth that, but at the same time, it hasn't proven to because he would have a ring, and
Mm-hmm.
it's tough because I love Jimmy, but at the same time, those 50, 55 points, 60 points in the Eastern Conference Finals, if you don't go to the finals, bro, and win, like people forget about that. It's sad, but
Yeah.
people just be forgetting about it. So if you're a Heat fan, like I'm saying, stay strong. Obviously, Heat culture. Be proud of Tyler Hero. Like CJ is saying, I think he's taken over this franchise and he's now the main player that they believe in. And then yeah, I think Kalel Ware should have you fucking lit. I think if again, bro, if the Heat scouting team and the people that are working behind the scenes for them do a wonderful job of making sure they analyze these players and what they can bring to the table. And clearly, they know they needed a true center to pair alongside Bam, and I think they found that. In my opinion, I think they were able to get this dude. And again, he's always been. I think in college, Cloward did the same thing. It was a ton of blocks, a lot of dunks, a lot of rebounds, and figure out as they believe in him more and more. And now that Jimmy's gone, I think he's going to get the ball way more. So
Mm-hmm.
still got players like obviously Rozier, but Highsmith, other ancillary pieces that they can use if people are out. So yeah, they're not torched. I think they'll probably go to the playoffs this year somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, going back to what you were saying about, how you don't think they're gonna make it to the finals or a championship contender. I feel like honestly, that's kind of how they always are. You know what I mean? Like they are always like
Yeah,
that, and they just figure it out. Like I think it has a lot to do with their culture. Miami culture, kind of like that. We're gonna work harder than everyone else to get to
yeah,
where
they
we're gonna
ride
be.
rough, bro. Like you're saying, they ride rough. They go through the play-in, make
Hmm.
it to the Eastern Finals, to make it to the final, losing five games. Like they play so well and so tough. And I think Pat Riley's done an amazing job of getting players out who don't believe in that culture and getting players in who do. So
Hmm.
yeah, we'll see. I hope the Wiggins trade, you know, bears fruit for them. Going into the last team, man, I think we haven't talked about this team too much at length, but I think over the last 2 seasons, bro, I got a question for you off the rip. Obviously, with the amount of scrutiny the Grizzlies have faced, do you feel that going through that was good for them? And moving forward, do you think that will help them reach the pinnacle of the NBA, which is obviously winning a title?
Yeah, so I think going back to what your first part of the question, I think they did need to they had to go through that, because like you were saying, the whole Jaw saying that we're fine in the West type of thing, and
Fine
he
and
did,
shit.
yeah, like all that, like yeah, all that stuff. It's made them, and that's the thing, dude. They're also like kind of one of those teams like the Heat. They have really good scouting. They develop their players really well. They've had these young guys, even when Jaw's been suspended. Triple J will get injured, Bane will get injured here and there. They always have
Jackson.
someone on that team that's stepping up, and I've been super impressed with them this season, man. I don't think they can win a chip this year, but I think they'll definitely be a team in the playoffs that is going to be a tough battle. They look really well. Triple J is having his
Yeah.
All Star year. He's scoring 30, getting 5 rebounds, but he's hitting 10 threes, whatever, like anomaly, getting like 5 blocks. So, and then they just have a lot of those young guys, Jalen Wells, Scottie Pippen Jr. They have a lot of good defenders, and the thing that I noticed whenever we were going against them, it's they just don't ever like they have pretty much everyone on the court can shoot and defend. And I think in this day and age, just kind of the way the game's played, you need those type of players, and pretty much everyone can. Especially when Jaw's out there, he just creates more for everyone and makes it a lot easier. Um, they got Zach Eady, you know what I mean? Like whenever
Oh
like
yeah.
he
Oh yeah.
they're good,
I
bro.
was about
And
to say.
I was about to say they have a good development team over there because Gigi Jackson. They have all these players that's like who are they, and then they end up balling out, and they're super young, and I think they. If they can get to the playoffs, not saying that they're gonna get bounced in the first round or anything, but whoever they go against, it's gonna be a tough battle. Obviously, I think they're second right now, right? Second in the
Yeah.
West.
Um, they're also one of the only teams in the NBA who doesn't goals. They play very interesting. I think Taylor Jenkins has done an amazing job being able, like CJ saying, he's worked with the development team and the scout team to be able to implement certain players into lineups that kind of shows their strengths. I feel like TJ doesn't get the love he deserves, but he's a great coach, bro. I
He's
would love
really
to
good.
play for Taylor Jenkins.
Hmm.
But anyways, yeah, just I mean, even Jaren Jackson Jr., like you alluded to, I think putting him in positions to be successful is important for them. Obviously, Zach Edey's development, but I think Ja has done an amazing job kind of being under the radar. I think he's had a great season. He's not an all star this year, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be. What they need from him is just even keeled, being mindful of his decisions off the court, but also just being a consistent presence in the lineup where you're getting 20 and 8. Somebody who's uber athletic can dunk on anybody. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, bro, I think you did an amazing job kind of explaining how their team's really developed over the last 2 seasons, and obviously they've lucked out kind of through the draft. Edie falling that low is kind of asinine looking.
Yeah.
People were questioning if two-time National Player of the Year. Oh, can he play basketball? Like,
Right. Right. It's
but
crazy.
yeah, but he would probably be the Rookie of the Year if he could just be healthy.
Hmm.
But he
Yeah.
can't. He can't stay out there. That's the one thing I was gonna bring up too. Is just their inconsistency with health. I think is what kills them.
Hmm.
Desmond Bain, John Morant, Edie, all these guys, they just seem to be out all at different times. They can never just be a full team for a while. So I feel like continuity is something that's a big question mark for me with the Grizzlies. But like CJ saying, man, they keep rolling, bro.
Hmm.
Um, they've been quiet. I like it. They're not doing the post game interviews talking all the mess.
Hmm.
They're just getting handling their business. They're doing it from Memphis, and I like where they're headed. I think if you're a Grizzlies fan, you should be really excited for what you know, not only you should be excited for what you've gone through and how you've made it out the other side, but also your future, right? Like I think the John Morant things, was pretty sketch. In my opinion, I thought it would be up in the air if the Grizzlies were going to want him back, but ultimately that didn't happen. He's still the franchise player. Clearly, you guys still believe in him, and he's kind of, at the core of that engine. I was gonna ask you one more question. Do you think they need to make a move to improve their roster, or do you think they should just keep this one out? And Santi, J Huff, Gigi, Jalen Wells, Jaren Jackson Jr., Edie, Bain, like those,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
those,
I
yeah,
was about to say, bro. Honestly, like, I don't think so. I think if those
yeah. I don't think so
players,
either.
if they progress at the rate that they have been within these past couple seasons, I think they might be not to bite what Josh said. I think they might be all right in the West. You know what I mean?
In
Not
the
saying
West,
that
for sure.
not saying that they're gonna like make it to a finals or nothing, but like they're gonna win a lot of games. Especially if they just keep this core. I think it's just more so getting that playoff experience. Because
Scottie
like you
Pippen
said,
Jr., yeah.
yeah, like they're Luke Kennard. You know what I mean? Like they
Oh
Brandon
yeah, oh yeah.
Clark. Like
And
they have
Brandon Clark, yeah, yeah.
they-
They
they're they're pretty
I
deep,
was
bro.
gonna say
Pause.
no, they're good and they do so well through the draft, right? Like
Right.
I think if they get the 23rd pick, they're gonna hit on it.
Hmm.
So
More
the
than like,
Grizzlies are scary, man.
yeah, yeah. They're one of those teams, man. They kind of just fly under the radar, especially these last couple seasons with them, like you said, all this stuff with Jaw, and then all this stuff with prior to that of them like being like grittying and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like they kind of
Right.
we're like the little brother that thought they were better than you, but they hadn't really proved anything to us yet.
They hadn't done anything, yeah.
But like like with the team that they have constructed, not saying all that stuff they went through with Jaw, like whatever that happened, like it kind of it's crazy to say this because I felt like I've been saying this a lot this year with stuff like that. When something happens to your all star, it kind of like shows you where your team's at, you know. And obviously, this
Right.
team is being able to win a decent amount of games. You know, they're 35-17 this year so far, and that's been a huge part of just their depth. You know what I mean? Like Jaw hasn't really been healthy this whole season, neither has Desmond Bain, but Triple J has in these past couple seasons,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that's that's a right walking in the right direction. You know, because that is I think he's probably a huge he's gonna be like one of their franchise players with Jaw. You know, so it's kind of
Oh
like
yeah. Oh
just
yeah.
building that team around them, figuring out. You know, obviously maybe at the end of the season, whatever it may be, maybe they can make a trade. But as of right now, I don't know who they really need. You know, I think just their developmental of the players they already have could potentially be enough. You know, especially depending on their matchups and stuff in the playoffs. Yeah, it's. I don't think so.
100%.
I don't think they need to make a big move, especially since they are all pretty young. You know, their oldest players who probably
Probably
is it Triple J?
it might be
You know what I mean? And he's like
now.
25, 26.
It
You know
used
what I
to be
mean?
Steven Adams, but
Yes, it
he's
used to be
gone.
Steven Adams. Yeah, but no, yeah, it's there. It's dope seeing that because I always show love to the smaller market
It
teams,
used to be
and
Marcus Smart, and they traded him. No, you're right.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
I think it might be or is unless Santi Aldama is older.
We can
No,
look it up, but
he's 24. I think
yeah,
it's Triple
he's young
J.
too. He might be
Yeah,
like 27, 28.
Triple J is 25. Desmond
What?
Bain is okay. Desmond Bain, he's 26, so he's
Okay,
probably their
okay.
oldest. But that goes to
Even
show.
old.
Yeah, I mean that's not even old, and the fact that y'all have been doing a good job. You know, like you said, shout out to Taylor Jenkins. He's been doing an incredible job over these past couple of seasons, just being able to have that next man up mentality for them because they've gone through a lot these past couple of seasons. But
Yeah, man.
it's dope to see, bro. Honestly, because I was always a fan of Memphis with the grit and grind era. You know, they always gave us battles in the playoffs, and we're always game sevens going against the Thunder. So it's always dope seeing them do well. You know.
100%, 100%. You have a little trivia for me
Yeah,
potentially?
yeah, for sure, yeah. So I wanted to give ZD a little trivia. So I was doing like who he thought the best franchise player was from each team. So I'll just come up with a different segment every Monday. This one, I was gonna give him a little trivia though. So, would you be able to tell me, sir, who the MVP winners of the 2010s were? No order, and obviously
No order.
if there's multiple people, I'll let you know how many they won. But yeah, so from '09
Okay,
to the 2019 season, would you be able to tell me who won those MVPs?
potentially. We can try.
Yeah.
James Harden,
Yep, that's
Russell
one.
Westbrook,
Yep.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Uh, you said 2009 or 2010?
It would be the '09-10 season, but so it's
Rose?
yes.
Okay. LeBron twice or
LeBron 3 times.
three times, sorry. Three times. I don't know the specific years for that. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
no, you're
So
good.
I
You're
had
good.
Harden, Westbrook, KD, Rose, LeBron three times.
Hmm.
Um, who else? Who else? Who else? 2000. Am I missing Kobe?
Mm-mm.
No, he was earlier, right? He was
He was.
2007?
I think he was. I think he was 08, 09 or 07,
Oh,
08.
08, 09. Okay. No, it's not. Mm. I like this one. Ooh, I like this one. This one's getting me. um, not Nash. Not. No, that's too far
Yeah, I
back.
would say you're thinking too far back. Think
Yeah,
like
I'm too far back.
think like
Think like
mid
some of
mid
them are still Curry too,
Curry too.
Curry twice.
Yep.
Um,
You only need one more.
Giannis?
Yep.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Giannis.
Sorry, guys. That list took
Yeah.
me a long
Yeah,
way to
because
write
it
down.
was from '09 to 2019
So
technically.
I got
Te-
Rose.
Ro-
2019 was Harden.
2019 was
Was
Giannis.
Giannis? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Giannis. 2018 was Harden.
Yeah, 2017 was Russ.
Okay.
Steph was 16, 15. KD was
15.
14. Braun was
Right.
13, 12,
12,
10, and then Rose was
10.
in between.
In between.
2010, 2011. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Hey,
you got it, bro.
not bad.
Yeah,
Took me a
yeah, yeah.
couple of minutes,
Yeah, you got it.
but
Yeah, I was about to say I just wanted to see if you remembered them because I mean
yeah.
obviously I would have probably been
Ooh.
able to get some, but yeah, there was some like maybe like 2000s I would not be able to, but we'll see if you
Yeah,
could get.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, maybe though, because there's a couple repeat winners.
Right.
There's a few that I
Yeah.
feel like we.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, well that's edition of NBA trivia with ZD. Hopefully
I like that. I like that.
we'll see what the next topic is next week.
So,
So
would you consider me 1-0? Like, would I pass?
yeah,
Like,
you
did I? Yeah,
pass.
like I didn't
Yeah.
fail that one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, cuz I
Okay,
mean if
cool.
anything I probably would have give you 3 strikes technically, but you only had one. So
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
you got it. You got it.
Dude, yeah, perfect. I think that's a perfect segue into talking about the All-Star game. So,
Mhm.
obviously, if you guys don't know, it's been, I think, would you like to talk about what you told me off camera about how in the last 4 or 5 years you don't really feel like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was gonna say something about that, but
For sure, yeah. So, we were talking. I was going through the outline because shout out to ZD. He makes one before we start, and I got to like the All Star game, and he was saying like his 3 greatest All Star games that he thinks, and I was like thinking about it, man. There's not really, especially this decade, like the 2020s, like that I think are like very rememberable in my eyes at least. Like granted I wasn't that locked into basketball, but even when I was younger, when I wasn't that locked into basketball, I feel like all-star games were always something that I like got up out my seat for. Maybe it was just me being like a
exactly
little kid and being more like, "Oh my gosh, this is so crazy." But
excited, right?
yeah, it's these past couple seasons, obviously, like it was dope seeing Shea being able to be a starter last year, and the same again this year. But besides that, it's not really like moments where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it was so lit," or this or that. It's kind of obviously shout out to Adam Silver. He's trying to change it up and make it a little more competitive. So hopefully this
Yeah,
season will be
yeah.
super dope. And that's something I always say to the NBA is like they're always looking to. They're wanting it to be enjoyable for the fans, and they've seen kind of the reception over these past couple seasons, what it's kind of been for us, and they're wanting it to be exciting again. So hopefully this year will be super super dope. But yeah, I was just kind of saying I just can't really think of specific moments. Obviously, the ones you have are the ones I
Are
thought of
cool, yeah, yeah.
off the top of my head. But like, there's
Same.
none like prior to that I'm like maybe that one
Whoa.
where like Shaq was like dancing in like the Jabberwockies mask, or
Ooh,
you know what I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
stuff like
There's
that. But I don't
2000, yeah, that's early. Man,
yeah, but yeah, it's
Kobe.
yeah, Kobe, like all of his moments, and I told you about that one in '01 with like AI because they had like the crazy camera, and they had him driving baseline when they were wearing like their team jerseys and stuff.
Oh,
But
exactly.
I don't know, it hasn't had that same like feeling. I don't know what it is, man,
Yeah,
and
bro. I know. I know.
but yeah, that was kind of what I told him. It's just, man, it kind of sucks because especially the legends in the game, they're always talking about, man, when we were in the league, this meant something to us. Like we were gonna go out here, ball
Of
out,
course it
regardless of
did.
like it
Man,
being like a break. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird,
I
but
recommend you guys go back and watch kind of what CJ's talking about there because the NBA has them archived. You can watch the 2000 2001 like the earlier ones, and you can kind of see what he's talking about versus the ones that are happening now.
mm,
Um, but kind of going in, I think we could start it right off hot. I think to me, this one is just because of what happened in the year. Obviously, Kobe passing away in 2020 when
mm-hmm.
they changed the format to add the 24. I think. Well, first off, I have a trivia question for you. Who was the MVP of the 2020 All-Star game without looking it up? Because I feel
But
like you're not going to get this,
nah, I don't
and
think
it's
I
tough.
will.
it's hard to remember because it's yeah. I'll let you guess first,
Was it Tatum?
and then I'll let you. No, close though. It was a forward,
It was a
and at this point in his career though, he was like peak. It was probably the best version of this player.
fuck, bro.
He was a
20,
forward, bro.
20.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know who's in that fucking All Star game. Damn, hold on.
He
Let
played
me.
for
Yeah,
uh
give me
he
hints
was
without
playing
telling me.
yeah, he was playing for the Raptors.
Raptors in 2020, bro. Was it? Nah, it wasn't DeRozan. Nah,
No. When did well no. Yeah, no. He was on the Raptors, I think. Yeah.
was it Kawhi? Really? I
Yes.
don't. I don't remember that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He has an All-Star game MVP and it was in the Kobe year. He won that one.
Wow.
And
Man.
if you don't remember, so
I'm.
he
I'm
had
gonna look
like
it
four,
up,
I think,
bro.
yeah, look up his stats so you can kind of go into it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this one was really cool because LeBron hit a game-winning shot,
yeah.
and it was when he did dap up DeRozan though. DeRozan and him kind of like dapped each other up at the end. Like DeRozan was
Mm,
playing in that one, so that was a good guess. But
okay.
yeah, this was Kawhi's only All-Star game MVP, and I think remember it was so competitive. I think literally from the first tip, they weren't even really. They were like, what was cool too, CJ, is I want to say this was also one of the first years where they did like the sides where it was like charity, where if you won the quarter, it was like money.
Yes.
They were
Yes.
playing, yeah. So they were going like they were trying to win the quarter, and it was cool because at the end they added up the total and then they add 24, and that's what they were playing, bro. It was
Yes.
cool, like
Yeah.
because they were going hard.
I would say AD won it for them. He hit free
Oh
throws.
yeah. AD, my bad. AD, he hit that game with that turnaround.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Braun. I had another
Damn.
Laker in my head, but yeah,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. This is definitely one of the better All Star games, obviously, because like I was saying earlier, kind of before I got sidetracked with the trivia question. This was obviously RIP Kobe, so I feel like players just felt the need to kind of like do what you were saying earlier, be like competitive.
Mhm.
Like it's kind of like if you don't go out there and play compete at a high level, like it's kind of like you were dissing Kobe, honestly. And I
Mhm.
feel like that All Star Game MVP was kind of like one everybody wanted to win, and obviously Kawhi got that one, so shout out to Kawhi Leonard. But yeah, bro, that's what I had
Yeah.
for the first one, in my opinion.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. I honestly forgot
Yeah,
about that, bro. I didn't realize that Kawhi won that All Star MVP.
yeah, he it's cool that he has one though. I think again that's why he's a Hall of Famer. Like
Mhm.
he's got all the stuff.
Mhm.
Kawhi was there, bro, doing it for sure. But yeah, kind of going into the next game, bro. This is actually because we were just talking about Kobe, but the 2016 All Star game, like you were saying in Toronto, bro. I mean, his farewell, I think, was super cool. Obviously, the LeBron and Drake photo, you guys know Drake kind of photo bombed it, but I just think again the competitiveness, him going up against LBJ, but obviously just all the other players kind of showing love to him. I think it was really cool. Like I think it's hard to really put into words the magnitude that Kobe kind of like encapsulated anytime he was doing something, and I think this specific game kind of just had an extra feeling about it because players knew that it was going to be his final All-Star game, and I think it was kind of what made that night special. It was also one of the higher scoring All-Star games we've ever had, just a
Mhm.
ton of offense. um I'm not sure who won the MVP for that one, so that might be a good little trivia. We could look it up, but
I was just about to ask you. Do you remember?
let me see. Was it
Cause I
Kobe?
no right conference though, and
West.
right, right. He's a guard.
He's a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. Because that was, dude. He was saying that. He was like, "Oh, that's when he went for 50,
Yeah.
right?
He scored
Or what did he do?
31, 8, and 5.
Oh, okay, okay. There was another time he went
Has he?
off.
He's won multiple though, huh?
Has he looked that up? Because I think he
I
had
think he
50. Like,
has. I'm pretty sure he has.
really? Okay, I might be thinking about the other one then, because I swear to
Oh,
God, that dude was cooking. Nah, Russ was like hitting threes and like whenever Russ is hitting threes, I'm turned. But
yeah,
anyways, guys, the 2016 All-Star games on a serious level, seriously, it resonates within my heart just because, it's Kobe's last one and guys were going out there and playing as hard as possible. Um, I remember I think it was cool because I think that was the one where if you don't remember, Kobe was like dribbling and like he dunked it and Bron tried to get him
Yes, yes.
and he smacked him on the ass. He was like, "Nah, son, like I
Yeah,
still got this."
yeah, I do remember that, bro.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So
Russ won back to back. Sorry, not to go too far away from that, but yeah, that was
2016, 2017.
2015, 2016.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What did he score in 2015?
He that must have been the 50 one then. Let me check.
'Cause he was hooping. I kind of forgot Russell Westbrook was hooping like this in the All Star game. Like he would
Yeah.
hit like threes, bro.
Yeah. Let me look. Let me look at
Facts.
his lineup real quick.
Yeah. Let's look at.
Westbrook had 41. Still though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
cooking. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I remember that kind of vividly in my head. I remember him going off a couple years for sure. Bro, this next one was super cool because I rewatched it. This is an NBA archive that I was able to rewatch, and this is one I feel like for the older heads, I feel like you'll put respect on my name. But the 2001, bro. I mean, ever since Stephon Marbury in the fourth quarter leading their team back, 21 points down. What can you say, bro? This is
Hmm.
it's peak basketball. Operating with all those all stars, kind of, you know, uh, it really showed you kind of how great Allen Iverson was, especially at his size. If you guys watch the game, you'll kind of see in the fourth quarter he's able to kind of take over and really be a problem. Honestly, I
Hmm.
did not think. I feel like Kobe kind of took his foot off the gas a little bit. The West started to pull up, and that's whenever AI started to step up, bro. So um, just for him to be able to do that, I think it was really cool. I think he won All Star Game MVP as well for 2001. So that's pretty cool. And obviously, like I'm saying, to be able to have a comeback like that in the fourth quarter is pretty insane. And this is back when there was no gimmicks with the All Star game. I think that's kind of what CJ was alluding to a little bit earlier. They were playing in their original jerseys. There was no rules, no like, oh, win this quarter, whatever. Like it was just straight basketball. And I think that's that's kind of what it reminded me of whenever I watched it, is like just the old version of the game before social media was super prevalent, before any of all that stuff mattered. It was really just about the game, and you can tell those guys were playing hard. They were playing for something because they knew it was worth it. And yeah, bro, I just remember like Vince Carter and like, oh yeah, bro, it's a good game for sure.
Yeah.
If you could watch it,
I was gonna say that is the
definitely.
one that I was telling you about. I'm pretty sure because they
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah.
Carter, AI, Marbury. Yeah, that was man,
That is the
bro.
one. Yep.
I I just what do you think? Like, what can the league do, or what can we do as fans to like improve the game?
That's a great question. I think it just starts with believing in the game first. I think I told you this an hour ago before we got on. It's just the ESPN broadcasts go, "Oh, well, the All Star Game's gonna suck." I say, "Yeah," because you saying it already.
Right. Yeah. You already have that
That don't make
mentality
any
go
sense to
into
me.
it.
Yeah, you want the game to grow, yet you keep telling people it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. It's gonna. Why are you doing
Hmm.
that?
Hmm.
That's number one. I feel like the whole perspective has to change on it first for it to really be kind of reinstated again. And I think it starts with the players as well. Kind of, I know guys are going to play harder this year because they've heard the chatter about it, and we're starting to come up. Like you were saying before we got on, we're starting to get old, bro. Some of these guys have been doing it. I think Braun, I don't remember the number, 23rd or 23rd,
21st.
22nd.
20,
Yeah,
20 I think
21st.
yeah, 21st. I think he made 20.
So he's been doing this for over 2 decades now, and
Hmm.
so to him, I'm sure this game is a little bit played out, but we just need to keep finding ways to innovate. And I was thinking we could even add a 4 point shot for this game and kind of see
Mm.
what Curry and Trey and all these other guys can do. Because if they want to shoot a bunch of threes, maybe maybe we should add an incentive to guard it. That's my one thing about the game that we could probably add that's like about the game. But
Hmm.
other than that, I think it's perspective, and then it moves to the players, and then obviously, I think a 4 point shot would be cool. But I just think we have to believe in it again. I think the belief is really what brought out the bright lights. You I don't know if you remember. We'll talk about the dunk contest in a second, but Gerald Green, no shoes on, blowing out candles.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Like, bro, like this is not. It was no gimmicks, no Twitter, no nothing. It was this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do this in All Star Weekend, and like you would tell your homies. So
Yeah.
we got to get back to that. I think social media has a little bit to do with the poor attitude on it, but hopefully it can change for sure.
Yeah. No, I like that, bro, because I think it does start with us, for one. That's why I asked you what can we do as fans, because we have been with that mentality of like, man, like, this game is going to be trash. Like, whatever, whatever. They're not playing defense. It's like, well, yeah, if you're talking about it like that, then
If you say
yeah, more than
that,
likely
if you're
it's
gonna say
going.
that every single time,
Right. And I feel like it's too like getting a lot of these players that are their first all-star appearance. I feel like that might be a little, they'll probably have a little more pep in their step, like the
exactly.
Wemby's and like all the younger players, Harrows, Cades, like them being there for their first time. I feel like they're gonna be going out there playing their hardest. But like you said, like Braun's been doing it for 2 decades now, so it's like you say he doesn't really think anything of it, but he's still gonna go out there and play regardless. You know what I mean? Like he might be trying to get another All Star MVP for all we know.
Exactly, exactly.
It starts with like us for one with our mentality going into the game, but like you said, it at the end of the day, it's based off of the players and how they're wanting to take it. Because going back to what we were saying prior to like us having the whole All Star game conversation, it used to matter to them. So I'm pretty sure that didn't
Yeah,
go
bro.
away, or it went away, but that could come back. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think like you're saying, it used to matter for them for other reasons than it does now.
right.
Like I said, social media, money, whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah, I just hope it can get back to that. But yeah, going into the next segment, bro. I mean, these dunk contest ones. Would you like to talk about the one that happened in 2000? I feel like people easily remember that.
Right. Yeah. So that was when Vince Carter won, right? Where he
Tracy
did
McGrady
the
battle. Yep.
honey. He dipped his arm in the net and hung on it. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was tough. Was that when they were both on the Raptors?
Yes, sir. So for people who don't know, they're
Mm.
cousins, they're family. I think this is the first dunk contest to ever feature, like like a cousin, whatever, or brother. Like if Amen Thompson and Asar did it, it would
Mm.
be like
Mm.
that kind of. It's kind of like that. So
Mm.
this is back in 2000, no social media, mind you. Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter put on an absolute show. I'm sure whenever we clip it up for TikTok, we'll have some highlights in there. Just I remember the honey dip, but I remember the 360 windmill. I think
Mm.
you know it's over that one. So if you
Mm.
guys can definitely rewatch that, I think that'll be a good kind of jar for your mind going into this year's dunk contest. Because in my opinion, that's the second best dunk contest of all time. Um, Obviously behind, we're gonna get into it because clearly
Right.
that one was like that shut the whole. I think that fucked up, bro. That messed up the dunk contest in the future,
Mm.
the one that
Mm.
Levine and Gordon had. But
Yep.
I
hundred
think
percent.
Vince Carter, bro, is really that's who gave guys like Levine, Aaron Gordon a place to showcase. He was the one who started all of that, being able to contort his body like that and then do dunks that have never been seen before. It's definitely a great watch, and you should hear Kenny too. Kenny's so dope on the call because he was so turned, bro. I haven't heard him that excited in a while, but he was like, "It's over, ladies and gentlemen, it's
Yeah.
over." Like I
Yeah.
haven't heard him sound like that in a minute, and
Yeah.
that's like OG Kenny. So I had to put that one on the list, but. Obviously, would you like to talk about 2016 and fucking Aaron
Oh
Gordon and like
man. Yeah.
Zach
So
LaVine, bro?
this was they did it 2015 as well, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
went against
yeah,
each other, and this was the rematch. Yeah,
yeah.
that 2016. This is when Aaron Gordon jumped over like the Magic's mascot on like the
Mhm.
hoverboard and shit. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, that is probably 2016 All Star Game in general might have been probably the best All Star game of all time, bro.
All Star Weekend for
Like,
sure.
yeah,
All of
just
it.
like the weekend in general. Yeah, it was crazy because I think that I don't know who won the 3 point con. Was it Steph that year? We'll get into that
Yeah.
later. We'll get into that
No, go
later.
ahead. Yes. Yeah.
I was about to say,
You're
my
gonna
fault.
be
I didn't want to shoot the gun too early, but yeah, no, that
you're gonna see who won.
right. Yeah, no, that 2016, bro, that was like you said, it was kind of showcasing what Zach Levine and Eric Gordon could do because coming
To
out at
me, the
yeah,
2016 All Star games or All Star Weekend's the best weekend ever
right,
so far
right,
that I've ever seen.
yeah, bro, and like that dunk contest, bro, like you said, it changed all dunk contests because seeing
Bro,
what those two could do is kind of like damn, like what is anyone else gonna do? Like, how are you gonna follow this up?
so like CJ's saying, like they got to a point. I think it was like the first round. Obviously AG started off with like a
Like a
over the top, like between the legs. He dunked it. It was a
yeah.
10, whatever. Levine did like a windmill off the backboard. 10,
Mm,
whatever. These guys started going though, and like CJ saying, I think after the hoverboard and the spinning, the windmill, the
mm,
360, it was like a dunk off, and they kept getting 50s. I think Levine ended up winning. Obviously at the end, windmill dunk from the free throw line, and
mm.
that shit, like, bro, it was like that's. It was like, bro, I don't know what else he can really do. Like, they really couldn't. I think it was the first dunk contest in all time that I've ever seen that should have had two winners. Truly, I really
Mm.
think they should have given it to him and AG. But yeah, bro, I think got to have it on the list. Kind of set the bar for what's expected now, and I think Mac McClung going for a three-peat is really cool. For you guys that don't know, he's actually been kind of turning up the dunk contest the last few years. So NBA brought him back. Obviously, the first player to try to accomplish a three-peat in the dunk contest, so that'll be cool.
That'll be cool.
Um, yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, that'll be
But
fun.
yeah, bro, I think that this dunk contest, if you guys have not seen it, or if you're a younger person, like definitely go on YouTube and check it out because it's probably the craziest one that I've ever seen or might ever see,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, hundred
Yeah,
percent,
for
bro.
sure. And then last but not least, obviously got to put one in for the old heads. Bro, Jordan and Wilkins, man, their battle. Obviously, this is the first time anybody, I think, besides Dr. J, cleanly dunked from the free throw line. Michael Jordan ended up winning this one, but just his ability to do stuff in the air, I think, was so crazy. I forgot who was on the call. It might have been Costas somebody, but they were like, "Oh, look at the air, look at the hang time, look at his flying motion."
He's
Like
flying.
I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, like they were shocked
they're
to see a
geeked,
guy do
bro.
that. And
Yeah,
nowadays it's kind of normal, right? To see
yeah.
that type of athleticism. But back then, mind you, I was not alive, but I know for a fact seeing somebody jump from the free throw line and like that should have been I
Yeah,
would have been like, whoa,
yeah,
this is
bro.
crazy. This is crazy. So I don't know if you have any thoughts for that one either. Obviously, I know you hadn't seen that with your own two eyes, but
Yeah.
had to put it on there for the old heads, just show
Oh
love to
yeah.
Jordan.
Of course. Yeah, I was about to say that
That's a
that's
legendary
honestly
one.
like one of the like you said legendary dunk contests, bro. That's kind of the man who could fly. That was when he
The man
really
who could fly. Yep, that's where
exactly
they got his
his logo.
literally the logo. Yeah, I was gonna say that's where the Jumpman logo is from. It's from the 1988 dunk contest. Um, it's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
what Jordan was able to do. I think that year too was pretty lit. The 80s All Star games were pretty lit. We're about to get into another event that happened in the 80s too, because
Hmm.
Bird was yeah.
No, yeah, that's iconic,
They
bro.
had it lit for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. But those are the three that me and CJ kind of both kind of unanimously agree on that we felt
Hmm.
were like kind of the best dunk contest in our opinion. There's been a few other ones that were pretty cool. I got to show love to John Wall. He had a crazy one in 2014. Went in with that between the legs dunk too. There's been a
Mm.
lot of crazy dunk contests in general. I think recently they've kind of gotten a little bit played out just because there's only so much the human body can do. And once
Hmm.
people have seen that, kind of like it's just it. But
Yeah.
yeah, moving on to our next segment, man. The 3-point contest, man. I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start it out with the old head one, man. I feel like gotta show love to the 1986 3-point contest, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I watched this. Okay, Larry Bird. Larry Bird's a dog. Cause let me tell you guys about Larry Bird. Larry Bird's a legendary beer drinker. Okay, I think CJ, look it up. If I'm not mistaken, he was a 12-time All Star.
Let me check for you.
Maybe a little bit less or more, but I know he was up there.
12. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he 12-time All Star, bro. He's a Boston Celtic. I know about him because I hate him, bro. I'm
Hey.
watching the 1986 3-point contest, right? Craig Hodges. There's a couple guys who really had straps back then. Hodges being one of them. Used to play on the Bulls with
Mhm.
MJ, but this dude goes into the final round. I think he needs like 28. Starts off cold as shit, right? So this is Larry Bird. This is Larry Bird. You're kind of like, wow. Like if you watch it, you're like, oh no, Larry's not gonna win. Well, this is why Larry Bird is Larry Bird, and CJ understands this. When Larry Bird wants to win, Larry Bird gonna win, right?
Mhm.
So second rack, he gets to the second rack, third rack, he starts hitting them wet, wet,
Yeah.
wet, right? Guys on the sideline kind of laughing because they're like, they telling Craig Hodges like, this ain't gonna be yours, bro. This gonna be Larry's. Sure enough, he ended up getting to the final rack. The last shot that he needed to hit to win was the last ball. Bro, he shot that like this and then held up that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a
Larry
dog,
Bird was
bro.
cold,
He he
bro. I'm
he
not
was in
gonna lie.
his he was in his like warm up too,
Warm
right? Like
up.
he didn't
And his
even have
warm
his
up too, bro. No respect for it. Bro. They were saying he was like, yeah, I'm gonna beat y'all on my warm ups, bro. Like Larry is a legendary trash talker, super, super out there, but was through moments like this. And I have to put it on there. Me and CJ weren't alive, but I've seen it. I saw the full round, right? And just seeing him be able to do that live was super cool because you can really see him just lock in, and it's like, oh, Larry's gonna win, bro. If
hmm
Larry Bird wants to go for 60, Larry Bird's gonna go for fucking 60. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
bro.
an awesome one, bro.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
super memorable.
100%.
But yeah, moving on to kind of our decade, our 2021, bro. Steph Curry, right? I
hmm
mean, my goodness, I think even with Sabrina too, you could put that one on here too as well. I think that was a pretty memorable one if you
I
wanted to
agree.
kind of feel spicy. But Steph Curry's just an ultimate 3-point shooter, and I feel like he's made these events cool the last 5 or 6, 7 years. I think without him being in it, it would definitely be a little bit less fun. But he's honestly made shooting cool again, and that's
hmm
kind of why I like Larry Bird. Larry Bird definitely makes shooting seem cool. So I think in 2021, bro, this was his second one, I want to say.
hmm
He had been, obviously, this is, I would say, probably in the 2016, his MVP years, probably, Pete Curry in terms of like what he was able to bring to the game. But I feel like in 2020's kind of 2021, 2022, that was Pete Curry, the player. So if that
hmm
makes sense, he was developed, he was a lot stronger. I don't think his body was super fulled out, in 2017 when he won those unanimous MVPs. So this was kind of when he was kind of at the peak of his powers, right? And he ended up hitting the final money ball, I think, to beat Mike Conley. And it was pretty cool because it kind of reminds me of Larry Bird in this situation. When Curry got one last shot to hit, he gonna make it, bro. Like there's no questions. It's just bottoms. Like he's the
hmm
best shooter of all time. He's not gonna mess that chance up. And I think clearly, if you guys go and watch back, on the 2021, you can kind of see it in his eyes. He really wants to win two of them. Because he doesn't have three, and we'll get into that reason why. Like you said, you were
hmm
talking about the 2016 one earlier. Would you like to finish it out, sir?
Yeah, yeah, bro. So, for everyone that doesn't know, this was Klay Thompson versus Steph Curry, the Splash Bros, in the final of a 3-point
I
contest.
was sick.
I mean, what more could you ask for? Honestly, that was electric, bro. That was the year that they were kind of becoming who they are with the Warriors and everything, and I guess
Dynasty, yeah.
the dynasty. And yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like you said, it's whenever you have Steph Curry in a 3-point contest, it just makes it more entertaining because of what he brought to the game and the fact that he is able to do this on a whole year's basis, bro. It was wild, and him doing that against his teammate made it even more of a competition because that it was like a conversation at that point, like, ooh, who's the better shooter? Like Steph was obviously a better shooter, but
Literally.
like it was more so of like the storyline of like, oh, can Steph win back to back as well? And Clay had to ruin that for him. But no, yeah, that
They
was a
stole the show, bro. I was
stole
about to
the
say he
show.
stole the show, bro.
He rose to the occasion, bro. It was insane.
Yeah, I think this was another one that kind of came down to the final round. But yeah, it ended up falling on Thompson's shoulders. He was able to get it done. I think this is the only. Well, I kind of gave up. I was gonna ask you a trivia question, but this is the only 3-point contest that he's won, which is
Yeah.
interesting because Clay is such a great shooter.
Hmm.
I feel like CJ's saying though, because of the moment and the energy, and Curry was obviously happy for him regardless. I think in the like post, he was like, I just wanted a Warrior to win anyway. So
Right.
like it was Clay was like, "Oh man, like I'm super excited to beat my guy." Like, we always talk about it, and I kind of got to show you guys like obviously in an arena full we can do and what we'd be doing for fun. So it was pretty it
Hmm.
was like again, another suggestion if you have time, go back and watch it, because you can really see obviously they're not on the same team anymore and that's kind of what's beautiful about basketball, but you can really see like CJ's talking about kind of what was going on in in that time period, how they were building the dynasty, and then for Clay to be able to finish with like 28, bro, on the final round is pretty remarkable, especially in that
Hmm.
moment and all the pressure's kind of on you.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
I was
But
about to say I have one more little trivia if you're down for it.
go ahead. I would love to hear
So
it.
we're talking about the 3-point contest, right?
Yeah.
Can you name me the last 10 winners? No, no order. I'll let you
No
know if
order.
yeah.
So 10, so 2015.
So from 2014 to 2024.
Okay, so Lillard,
Yeah, he's won the last two.
yeah, Curry,
He's won two.
um, Cat, uh,
He was 2022.
uh, Cat. Well, I guess Clay, right?
Yeah, Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we just talked.
Yeah. Um, Sniper, Sniper. I want to say like no, 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 no. Did Zach Levine win one?
No.
Okay. Ooh, this is
Yeah, I was
tough.
say
Now I'm
I feel
scanning
like
my
you.
brain.
I would say you could definitely get these, but they're one
We don't
someone
have
that
all,
was up.
we don't have all day too.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I'll give you hints. So one is a player right now who's really good. He's a guard in the West.
Okay. Give me another one.
He's on a team that isn't living up to expectations right now.
Interesting. There's a couple of those.
In the West.
Okay.
That's
In
a
the West,
guard.
though, in the West.
That he's a guard.
That's a guard. Trying to think who's like a sniper, bro. Like
He
D Book.
yes. Yeah,
I
D-Book
forgot about
won
his.
2018.
Okay.
So
Um,
you need 2020, 2019, 2017, and 2014.
2014 so difficult. My goodness.
This one, he's a sniper, but it's someone that played on a really good team. I'll say
Really
that.
good team
2014.
in 2014. Okay. That's a good hint. I think
He
was it a Spur? It wasn't a Spur.
It was a Spur.
Wait, it was a Spur. Okay.
I think
That narrows it down.
I think you know who
Um,
it is then.
yeah, I think so too. Um, Spur. Why did I say that? I don't know who on the Spurs in
Yeah, I was to say I wonder who
2014.
you were thinking of because that's a
Yeah,
good
like
guess.
sniper.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, I want to get 2014 out the way so bad. I need to go through my brain right now. Wait, Matt Bonner?
No, right path though.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That type of player. That type of player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Matt Bonner was in a 3-point shooting contest.
he probably
Like,
was.
um, jeez Louise.
He's a foreigner.
Danny Green.
No,
Oh,
he's a foreigner.
he's a foreigner.
Yeah.
It's not Ginobili.
Uh-uh.
It's not, it's not Diao. It's not like it's not anybody I'm thinking of right now. Like I can't get it in my head who was in the 2014. Um, okay. 2017.
2017, he was on a team that shot a lot of threes.
Ton, right?
Ton. A ton of threes.
Oh,
20.
oh. Rockets?
Mm-hmm.
2017 Rockets. Eric, no.
What were you about to say? Who
I
were
was
you
about
about
to
to
say
say?
Gordon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I kind of remember that faintly for some reason. Okay,
2017, yeah. So you need 2020, 2019, and then 2014.
okay. 2020. Let's go to COVID.
2020, very streaky shooter.
Super, right? Was it
Super.
was it was it Malik Beasley? No.
No, 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 no.
Buddy Healed?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was Buddy Healed. I had one of those too.
Mm-hmm. Buddy Hield,
Man, you're
2020.
making my memory jog now, bro. Like I have like kind of remember faintly watching that.
Yeah. And then 2019, unexpected winner. I would say that.
Unexpected winner. Yeah, I can't. I got Cat too. That one would have been hard if I didn't
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, you got that one.
Dude,
He,
20 unexpected winner. I think I remember the field from here. It's just like a sniper for the Spurs in 2014. Like I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm going through their roster. It's just like, what? Where is the sniper? And then I'm missing three.
you're missing two now. 2014 and then 2019.
2019, maybe Chris Middleton.
No. Right,
Okay.
right. I think right position,
Wrong team.
wrong team. I think.
Forward.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
one might be a
yeah.
forward or like a guard, or he was like a big guard type of thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just double check. Like I say, he's one of those like you're like what?
Yeah, like what?
Like I knew he won, but like forgot about him type of deal. He's he's 6'6", so yeah, like a big guard, small
And
forward.
he still plays today? He's active?
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah, or I think so. Yeah, I think he's active.
Wow. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on the 2019 one. Oh man, I give up.
You give up. What about the
Yeah.
2014?
Yeah, go back to 2014. I missed some guys. I'm so sorry.
2014 3-point champion was Marco Bellinelli.
Dude, Bellinelli. I
Bellinelli,
forgot he played
bro.
for them, bro.
Mm.
Wow. I was not gonna get that.
And then 2019 NBA 3-point champion Joe Harris.
Joe Harris. Wow. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Forgot,
on the
right?
Nets, right?
Yep, on the Nets.
Yeah, he's a sniper
He's a
for
sniper,
sure.
yeah. I think that he was the one that I was like, I don't. He might have just retired, but oh yeah, he just retired like this past year.
Okay,
He was in the league for
makes
10
sense.
years, but
Yeah,
yeah, that was
he got his 10 years of service.
yeah. Let's say that's his. That was his one All Star year for him.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, if you like those segments, obviously, the All Star Game one is specific to what's going on right now. But
Mm,
CJ's got more trivia for me for sure.
100%. Yeah, man. Well, is
Yeah.
there anything you'd like to tell the audience before we head out of here, sir?
Nah, just enjoy the All Star Game and you know try to, like I'm saying, be a fan. Appreciate it. These guys need support. I think the Jericho Sims dunk contest kind of reminds me. I'm like, damn, like they were just hating on him. Like he
Yeah.
tried to make it all cool. He was getting booze and shit. Like, nah. Just make sure you watch, bro. Enjoy it. Take it in for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, man. I feel like there's a lot of dunks that have already been done, but like there's only so much you can do honestly without bringing in props or bringing in these things. So regardless of what they do, I mean, at the end of the day, it is gonna these are the best that dunking or shooting threes. It's like, kind of appreciate it, like, feel
Yeah, of
like,
course.
going back to what you were saying about kind of our mentality going into All-Star, man, like we should flip this script and say that like this All-Star game is going to be the best one we've ever seen. And then at that point it's
No,
like,
literally.
you know what I mean? Like, at least if it's not, then oh man, like it was in the running for it, or not just having the mentality of
Yeah,
thinking, man, this is gonna be trash, just because
it sucks.
it
Right.
sucks, like having that mentality, bro. You should always, just enjoy it for what it is. It's dope seeing all these players at the highest level doing what they do, because they make it look easier than what it should be. So yeah, just I would like to end it off on that. If y'all like this episode, Three Man Weave, don't forget to
Yeah.
leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace. Thunder up,
Peace.
thunder up. Three man, three man, three man.